I started blogging in the late 90s, early 2000. And as I was blogging, I found I had a very different relationship with other people and with knowledge than what I had had when I was learning in a classroom or a university program. The biggest difference I found was the way in which people are aware of one another while they're learning and the way in which they connect and build and improve. And so somebody has an idea on a blog over here. I read about it, I write a post that incorporates some of those ideas but try to expand it and add my own perspective. I post it. Someone else comes by and takes some of those bits and pieces and expands it and augments it and so on. We could say at a very broad level, that's exactly what science has done. This notion of combinatorial creativity, right? That we connect knowledge, we build, we grow, we advance. But at that point, it was more, for me, it was a very odd experience. As I mentioned, I was at Red River College, and so I was involved in a training, or in my interactions with faculty. I was one of the few folks in the system at that time that was very active around trying to find new ways to teach with technology. But I found online all of a sudden that there was a rich group of blogs and colleagues from other universities, other systems, and not just in Canada or US, but globally. There were some fascinating things going on in the space. And so my learning in that setting wasn't the instructivist way. It wasn't necessarily a purely self-regulated way either, where I was taking books out of the library and reading them or reading journals and so on. Instead, it was really a social connected process of learning. And that's what eventually resulted in a paper I did in 2004, where I argued that in a networked world, learning is a network forming process. Knowledge is a networked product. So when we are knowledgeable, it essentially is a reflection how we've connected concepts and ideas over a period of time. Now, getting a little bit more detail, this happens at three distinct levels. So on the one hand, literally at a biological level, learning is a network forming process. Neurons firing, neurons connecting. If we move that up one level, and this is a big level to move up on actually, but at the same level, networked learning consists of taking concepts and forming conceptual connections. So as we get a new idea, we connect it to what we already know, and that rounds out our perspective and often deepens our understanding. And at the final level is one that we're all quite familiar with actually, but that's networked learning through external social spaces. We might use tools like Twitter or Facebook or any number of future to emerge network tools. We might just be connected through our mobile devices, staying in, if we have a question, let's say we're a salesperson in a workforce, we have a question, we can text colleagues or those kinds of activities. But that's where the social systems and the technology systems that are now part of human knowledge, more and more part of human knowledge, become a part of our overall capacity to know.